So the first clip in the video that we saw, which is the blocks, that we think that the upper block is color black and the bottom block is color white. And also, as we can see, the middle line is white, as in like clear white. And I think it's because of the light that strike the surface of the block. But that's why it looks like they are different in colors. But when you put your finger in the middle, both blocks are gray in color. And I think that's how the light plays an important role in colors. So let's see the second clip, which is the dinosaur. And it is an optical illusions. Optical illusions is when our brain and eyes try to speak to each other in a simple language, but the interpretation gets a bit mixed up. For example, it thinks our eyes told it something is moving, but that's not what the eyes are meant to the brain. Just like the dinosaur that we saw in the video. They covered their one eye and they try to move, and the dinosaur is moving. But when you put away your hands in your eyes, the dinosaur is not moving. And it's all because of an illusion, due to the properties of the visual areas of their brain as they receive and process information. In other words, yeah, your perception of an illusion has more to do with how your brain works and less to do with the optics of your eyes, because we don't see with our eyes, we see with our brains.
Good day, everyone. My name is Mikey. So, last time we discussed about visual attention. So, dito kasama sa diniscuss ay yung maraming theories and experiments like optical or visual illusions. So, one great experiment na natatandaan ko na pinakita sa video or sa discussion is yung Stroop effect. So, this Stroop effect is a neuropsychological test wherein you must say the call of the word but not the name of the word as fast as you can. So, for example, ay yung word na blue. What you have to do ay you have to distinguish what is the color of that particular word. So, for example, ay red. So, kailangan mo ma-distinguish yung color ng mismong word na prinesent as fast as you can. So, our psychologists use this effect para malaman and para ma-assess kung gaano kabilis ma-process ng ating brain as well as yung attentional capacity and control natin. So, this Stroop effect ay maraming mga explanations and theory na sinasabi. So, one of this is the selective attention theory. So, this theory, sinasabi na yung pag-name natin ng kulay ng word ay mas need ng much attention or focus kesa sa pagbabasa ng mismong word na yon. And another theory na in-include ay yung speed of processing theory, wherein this theory sinasabi na ang mga tao daw ay mabilis magbasa ng mga word kesa sa pag-name ng colors. Another is the automaticity or tinatawag na automatic word recognition. So, this theory sinasabi na reading doesn't require focused attention. So, yung utak daw natin is nag-engage automatically. So, people just read words automatically. So, whenever we see a word, yung brain daw natin is automatic na binabasa yung word na yon. And yon. So, yun nga. So, whenever we see a word, automatic pumapasok yung data sa ating brain whether we like it or not. So, when the info we get from reading that word is different from the color of the ink. So, itong two conflicting pieces of information, nag-end up sila or they are end up fighting in our brain. So, ito ay tinatawag na interference because one cognitive process is slowing down another. Okay, so habang ginagawa daw natin itong Stroop test effect na ito, may mga parts daw sa ating brain ang responsible. For example, ay ang ating prefrontal cortex or yung PFC na tinatawag. So, this is thought to be responsible for goal representation. what the rules of the current task are, like the word or saying the color. So itong PFC na to, responsible sila sa mga rules or task na gagawin. Next naman ay ang anterior cingulated cortex or ACC. So this seems to be involved in error detection. So itong ACC na ito ay responsible sa mga mistake na nagagawa natin. They are responsible for our hesitation sa pag-answer. And next naman ay ang ating ventral tegmental area or yung VTA. So itong VTA na to, they provide a reward in form of good old dopamine.
From what we see in the video was an example of visual illusion, or most commonly known as visual deception, which is an art or crafts that takes or makes actions on images that fool us, the viewers. And we can also see there that because of the arrangement of the two shapes and the impact of the light source or the shadow is the reason why we think there are different colors. Our visual perception is the proof of something factual, that when we see something like illusion, our brain interprets it as an objective and real. And when we think and see it as a different color, it is not our eyes that have a problem or issue there, but it is the way of our brain and our visual system who interprets the color what we see of what we see. Our eyes are built into two nerve cells, the cones and the rods. They are clearly separated on the surrounding of our retina. Color is detected by the cone cells, while low light contrasts that are detected by the rod cells. They work together to transform light into neural signal, which are sent to our brain. There are fewer cones and more rods on the retina's corner, whereas the retina center contains primarily cones. As a result, viewing object out of the corner of our eyes can provide false images and hazy impression of what we're seeing.
Illusion is a proof that we don't always see what we think we do, because our brain and the entire visual system perceive and interpret an image. Illusion has more to do with how our brain works and less to do with the optic of our eye. Maybe optical illusions arises because of some properties of our eyes, including the visual system. Visual system includes not only the eyes, but the optic nerve, which links the eyes to the brain and the primary visual cortex. The brain might need to quickly give more importance to some features in a visual scene than other features. Color, motion, shape, and the amount of light that hits our eyes are the few factors that might cause us to see an illusion.
Okay, so the material or the video that was provided to us, which are two optical illusions, is a concrete example of the topic that we have discussed previously. But in what terms? The first given example was an optic illusion that challenged or stimulated the eyes of the audience by asking if the colors of the two papers, which are gray, have the same color as the poster that was displayed. In this case, this can be related to our topics, since we have discussed the sensory and how sensitive it can be if it experiences overstimulation, thus creating an optical illusion that will command our brain to see it from a different perspective, such as the one that was shown in the video. According to a study, a normal or a usual human eyes can detect about 130 gradations of color in the visible spectrum, with a count of about 20 slightly noticeable differences within the provided color. For example, gray, the color gray as shown in the video. And our human eyes can detect about 500 variations of brightness. In the video, we can see that the people mistakenly thought that the colors in the poster are two different colors, when in fact both of them are gray colored. This happened due to the adjustment that will stimulate a person's retina. The first one may appear lighter or darker depending on where the person's retina is focused first. then the less sensitive or a fully adjusted retina will now perceive either a darker or a lighter color opposite of the first brightness that the retina perceived. This has a huge relation to what we have discussed, since as previously mentioned, this tackled how our eyes and brains react to stimulation, overstimulation of what we see on our day-to-day lives, may it be an optical illusion or a simple scenery.